In the Dragon Ball and later Dragon Ball Z manga and Japanese animation, the minor character Mr. Popo was thought of the servant of Kame, whom was the guardian of the planet within the series. The background of Mr. Popo was that he was born off-world and had been the main servant of Kame for centuries. It even went as far as that of Mr. Popo being the servant of previous guardians of the planet for eons. It was mentioned by the start of the Dragon Ball Z manga and Japanimation that Mr. Popo was well over 1,000 years old. As due to his otherworldly origins, he hasn't changed appearance in Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super. The best known portrayal for Mr. Popo was actually in his first introduction in the Dragon Ball manga, where due to circumstances in the story, Goku needed to further his martial arts training to become stronger, as through the story he eventually does so. But when first meeting Mr. Popo, Goku was outmatched. However, once this example was concluded, Mr. Popo ceased to necessarily be depicted at all for the rest of the Dragon Ball series. Mr. Popo supported the Z soldiers through the early Dragon Ball Japanimation along with Kame, but from information now known, Mr. Popo essentially became obsolete when Dende was chosen to be the next guardian of the Earth and remain with Kame. Due to the increasing amount of power that nearly everyone had in the series on average in terms of power levels, Mr. Popo's significance was nearly non-existent and only made sporadic appearances through the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super animation as well as manga for purely continuity-based reasons. However, there might have been another reason that Mr. Popo's importance or even presence within the Dragon Ball based lore diminished once the manga and Japanimation became popular in the West. Despite the fact that the Dragon Ball manga and animation were first introduced to the United States and Europe in roughly the 1990s, there were claims that in the early 2000s Mr. Popo was a caricature of Africans portrayed negatively in Japanese fiction. The criticisms were that Mr. Popo had not darkened skin, but literally black-colored skin. Other claims had it that even the big oversized lips, and in the case of Mr. Popo, no teeth as well as the small beady eyes. Even for a time after the initial claims of racism were made in the early translations and depictions of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z based manga or even animation weren't taken seriously until there were comparisons with the manga done where there were in fact digital editing of Mr. Popo's physical traits or appearances to lessen the features to avoid further criticisms. In modern versions of Dragon Ball media within the United States, the features of Mr. Popo have essentially returned to the same portrayals as depicted in the original Japanese source material. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because they were never important, but were later viewed by foreign media or foreign readers as possibly racist.